Hey, it's everyone's favorite material that we didn't learn in the past 2 weeks, but rather the last not even 2 months. 2 quarters, that's right. So it's been a while, which means we need to start reviewing. The first question, solve for x. And it says the absolute value of 2x plus 5 equals 35. So with absolute values, you absolutely have to remember that there are actually 2 answers to this. The 2x plus 5 equals 35 answer, as well as the 2x plus 5 equals negative 35 answer. Because absolute value means it's got to be positive. And the absolute value of 35 or negative 35 would both be positive 35. So once you split it up from here, they're pretty easy to solve. I'll do it real quick. 2x equals 30. Here, if you subtract 5, you get negative 40. And if you divide, you get x equals 15. Or negative 20. So that's the answer to A. For B, you can't do this immediately because the absolute value is not by itself. So you will have to subtract 2 from both sides first to get 15. Then you have to get rid of the 3. Please remember the point of this is to get rid of things. Don't combine the 2 and 3. PEMDAS. PEMDAS says multiply before add, so you cannot add these. That's why I subtracted first. Same thing here, do not distribute. You want to get rid of the 3. You do not want to make this more complicated. You want to make it less complicated. So dividing the 3 gets rid of it. Then you can do what we did in the previous problem. I suggest pausing and seeing if you can finish it. If not, here we go. You get x plus 1 equals 5. And x plus 1 equals negative 5. So x equals 4. X equals negative 6. Square rooting. You're solving for x, so you need to get rid of the 3, the 2, and the 4, but maybe not in that order. So what do you think you should get rid of first, boys and girls? It's the 4. So let's add 4 to both sides. Next up, get rid of the 3 or the 2. The answer is the 2. Square root both sides. Then you get x minus 3 equals the square root of 24. But wait, there's more. Not only is it 24, but it is plus or minus 24. But wait, there's more. The square root of 24 can be simplified because 24 is 2 times 12. 12 is 2 times 6. 6 is 2 times 3. So you look for 2 of a kind. And you have left over 2 and 3. So this would be plus or minus a pair of 2's, and then 2 times 3 is 6. So 2 root 6. Your final answer, after you add 3, you sneak it up front right there, is x equals 3 plus or minus 2 root 6. This one, solve for x. What do you think? Subtract 30. What do you think? Divide by 2. What do you think? Square root both sides. What do you think? Let's see. Oh boy, first of all, plus or minus. Then, the square root of 16, that is a whole number. Don't worry about the tree. What's the square root of 16? It's 4. But then, it's the square root of a negative. So you have to put an I. And that is the total answer. Don't forget the plus or minus because you're rooting. Don't forget the I because it's negative. Don't forget the 4 because that's the actual square root. 2 more to go. Luckily, these ones go kind of fast. Graphing, absolute values. Absolute values graphs, they make a certain shape. Do you remember what shape they make? They make one of these. Absolute value, right? Hey, it's a V shape, either going down or going up, depending on whether it's positive or negative. This is a positive 2, so it will be going upwards. And you need to find the vertex. Finding the vertex is very important this year. It comes up in at least 3 or 4 units. So do you remember where the vertex is? If you see x minus 2, what number should you be thinking of for x minus 2? If you said positive 2, yay! Positive 1 out here does not change. Just the inside one. So at 2, 1, you put a point. We're going to make a V shape. This number in front is the quote-unquote slope. You can go up 2 and over 1. So up 2 and over 1, up 2 and over 1, and you make a V shape. And that's it. For this one, it's a square, and a square is a quadratic. Do you remember what shape a quadratic makes? Quadratic, quadratic. Quadratic is a U, depending on if it's positive or negative. This one is negative, so it will be going down. Its vertex. If you see x plus 4, what number should you be thinking? If you said 4, shame. Negative 4. Plus 3 stays a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. There's a negative 1-ish kind of in front. Now, this time it's even more quote-unquote slope because it's not a slope at all. It will get you 1 and only 1 point if you kind of go down 1 and over 1. So these 2 points would be correct, but you cannot keep going. So just make your U shape from here and call it a day. And that's it for the old material, which is it for the review guide. Woo! Finally done. Good times. Hope this helped. Hope you guys study. Hope you do well. Have a good one.